One of the fundamental things about learning is creating the learning environment in which students are going to be learning, because they want to be in an environment where they feel as though they can be receptive to the learning and their needs are being met in a wide variety of ways. In this video today, we're going to be exploring creating learning environments and how this can be achieved through homeschool partnership. Welcome back to Global Teachership Hub. In this video, as we explore, we're going to be looking at how schools can play their part, as well as how parents and home can play their part in this partnership in creating a learning environment that is going to be one in which students can thrive, excel, and achieve well. Oftentimes, the onus is placed at the feet of teachers to create learning environments that are going to be susceptible to learning. And rightly so, teachers do have a responsibility to play in creating this environment. Equally, parents also have a responsibility to play in ensuring that the children that they are training and developing are able to add to learning environments in a positive and holistic fashion. In a classroom of 25 or more students, there are several different personalities, backgrounds, behaviors, and traits that are coming together. We haven't even stopped to look yet at the learning needs and the demands that are on teachers to be able to provide for these students and for their learning. And therefore, there is a lot of demand that are placed at the feet of teachers to be able to master a classroom and to be able to make sure that it is functioning effectively and efficiently so that all learners are able to excel and achieve their optimum best. For this to be realized in its most effective and efficient state, there needs to be a partnership between home and school to realize this in its fullest form. Now, as far as teachers are concerned, teachers are creating an environment in which they are laying out their expectations, the expectations they have of students and how those expectations are going to be implemented. This needs to be clear so that all students are understanding what the expectations are and that home is fully aware of what is expected of them as a parent and also of their students within the classroom. Now, policies and procedures within the classroom needs to be implemented fairly, and this includes taking consideration of specific circumstances when these are going to be implemented. Teachers also need to take into consideration the personalization of students' learning, the differentiation to meeting their learning needs, and also using a range of learning styles and learning resources to make lessons engaging, enriching, and all-encompassing, being able to ensure that students are making the progress that they need to be making so that they're hitting the milestones that they need to and not producing ceilings that students are unable to pass. Now, in doing so, there are going to be things that are needed from home as well, because students that are going into these environments are coming from a range of different backgrounds, which have different philosophies and ideologies that are taught to students. And therefore, parents need to understand a few things that they also need to do. And one of those things include the diet. So the diet that children are eating. We know that the diet that children eat have a wide-ranging impact on their development, on their brain health, on their ability to think and to function, and to ensure that their period of their circadian rhythm, when their cognitive function is at its peak, will be able to result in effective thinking because they have the necessary nutrients that are going to be driving that thinking process. Parents also have the duty and responsibility to ensure that the diet that their children are consuming provides the nutrition that is not going to increase their hyperactivity or their lack of sustained attention for a significant period of time. We know that there are lots of things in terms of social media consumption and food that is impacting on the attention span of individuals. However, working in a classroom will require them to have some attention span that is going to ensure that they can engage with explanation, engage with understanding the concepts that they're learning, and then being able to implement those concepts and also work with others to realize this. The other area that parents need to be conscious of is the way in which they're training their children. So in terms of training, it is being able to train children in a way that they understand that there is a time and a season for each and every activity. And some activities are going to require them to sit at a spot for a given period of time to get work done when they're concentrating on implementing the project or task that is given at hand, where there are other activities that will see them moving around and doing other forms of activity. As parents, we shouldn't have situations in which children are hyperstimulated and being given an opportunity to be hyperactive without balancing that out with some sitting down meditation where they need to focus for a significant period of time. Because where we are at home as parents with a small number of children that we are able to allow to behave in this hyperactive state, when they are in the classroom, there is a different demand on them, and teachers have in upwards of 25 children that they need to manage it within the classroom to ensure that the learning outcomes for those lessons are realized. Whilst it's important as parents to also be conscious of the needs of our children, it is important that we're also thinking about the needs of others that are in the classroom and ensuring that our children have the aptitude to be able to adjust to different circumstances so that they are able to positively contribute to the classroom environment without hampering the learning of others. The African word that jumps to mind at this moment as we have the conversation about creating positive learning environment is Harambee, and Harambee means pulling together. And it's simply trying to explain that even though we might be from different circumstances, different walks of life and different reaches and are at different stages in our life's journey, we are still able to pull together to achieve a common goal. And this is explaining in this scenario how school and parents or home can pull together in their partnership for the common goal of the successful accomplishment of children within the classroom by creating a certain mindset, attitude, and discipline in children that will positively impact the classroom environment. Thank you for staying with us here on this another episode of Global Teachership Hub.